This content contains podcast. This adult
contains podcast content.
Adult content, be advised. Enjoy the episode. And I have a feeling, I cannot confirm this, that because
That's feelings.
All right.
Hello, we've not recorded in a while, have we?
I know. Have you missed them?
We actually did record last week. I completely forgot, but we didn't put the sound mat down. We just sat on the cold, hard
that's
floor.
right. Yeah. We did record. We recorded a once-over first draft of our live show, which I'm sure you've faced an advert about that because
You've definitely already booked tickets as well, haven't you?
We know that.
We don't actually know that. Please book tickets.
So it's a very special day today. Elsie is 26.
Yes, I had a bit of what I think was sciatica last night.
She came into the kitchen and she was like, I think I've trapped a nerve. And I was like, if you trapped a nerve, you'd know about it. I think, Elsie, you just had a hurty back.
Well, it gave me great comfort to know that I probably hadn't trapped a nerve.
Yes.
Yeah, you would know.
But I did have to lie down on the ground raising my hips.
Oh, I have to do that all the time on my period. I have to do that all the time.
That's coming up. So...
And don't they say that your period changes every 5 years? Like,
I thought it was 10 years.
Or 10 years. Like, so your period...
Honestly, it's continuing to be a mystery, even into the modern age.
But, like, what was true about you 5 years ago is not true anymore.
Like,
basically.
different symptoms, basically.
Yeah.
Is it too bold to... in the first 5 minutes of this episode, talk about anal spasms?
No.
Oh, God, I hate them. Me and my brother both get them.
What? Yeah. I thought it was a woman thing.
No.
Sorry, Sean. I'm sorry. I thought it was like a period thing.
No.
Okay. Yeah, they're bad.
Mad that we've already been doing this for like 15 years as well. We've already been having periods for like pretty much 15 years.
Well, mine was when I was 13, so...
Yeah, nearly 15, 14 years.
12 years I've been having them.
14. I was 12.
Well, you're 26 today.
Oh, yeah, I'm 26.
It's also the 4th year anniversary of us living here.
It is. We moved in on my birthday.
Yeah.
Well, me and Meg moved in the day before, and then Else rocked up with her dad and had so little stuff in comparison to me.
It was such a nice day when me and Laura moved in, and my mum and dad helped us because her granddad drove us here, and he's in his 80s, and they were like, well, we can't let him carry things up the stairs, and it was like 30 degrees,
and we were on the top floor.
Yeah, by the time we don't have an elevator or anything, by the time we finished, my dad
drenched,
his shirt was see-through. So Elsie, how's your birthday been? Would you like to tell everyone what we've been up to?
Yes, I'll tell you what happened on my birthday. So these two organised a cat cafe for me.
Just organised all of it just for you.
It was lovely, yes. Yeah. It was supposed to be a surprise, but a few weeks ago.
Surprises.
Yeah. Well, Laura, oh my God, never tell her anything.
No, wait, well,
secret.
I'll tell the story. Basically, it's such a nice thing for me and Laura to do because we're both really, really...
This is
really allergic to
definitely
cats.
Offering ourselves up to the altar of allergy, like we were suffering.
Oh, you opened your bodies up to allergens today for me, and I really appreciate it.
And a few months ago I was given some of the really hefty antihistamines because I'm having such a difficult summer. And we went out and had some wine, didn't we?
And Meg's allergic to wine.
I'm also allergic to alcohol, yeah. We went out and had some wine a while ago and got really drunk. And Laura gets really loose-lipped when she's drunk, because she was sat next to me and she started nudging me and she was like,
don't use all the antihistamines, don't you need to stock up?
Will you still have some of those by Elsie's birthday for the, thing?
And I was sat 2 feet away from Laura looking at her like, oh my God, come on. Are you being serious?
At which point Elsie went, are we going to a cat cafe? Because what else would it be? And that's how Elsie found out about it. About a whole month before we were supposed to be doing it.
Yeah.
If we went like horseback riding, I would need mega antihistamines again. I think me and you had 6 each antihistamines.
I had 5, but I went in, sat down, and didn't really move. I didn't touch a cat, and no cats touched me. There was hair everywhere, and I was starting to get a bit sniffly. But Laura joined in.
Yeah.
And so she
couldn't resist.
did it to herself.
I had like over a gram of antihistamines today.
Oh.
You're all right now, though.
Yeah, I'm fine now. I one of the cats playfully
Scratched her a lot,
scratched
yeah.
the shit out of one of my hands.
So yeah, so we went to a cat cafe.
And then a few weeks ago, these two were saying like, "Oh, just like schedules and stuff. We're gonna have to record on your birthday. Is that okay? Do you want to do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course I do. I enjoy it. Look how much fun we're having."
Happy birthday. Well, it's great for you because I wouldn't want to fucking record on my birthday.
Don't say that.
Oh, I want to do something else other than sitting.
That is so not true.
Yeah,
You
you're
love
right.
to sit.
You would just like to sit in a chair.
Yeah, that's it. For my birthday, can we go to a studio? Because my leg is already dead.
If we're recording on our birthdays, moving forwards, let's book a studio, make a thing of it.
So yeah, so we went to Westfield for this cat cafe, and then we went into this new Japanese supermarket on the way back. And Elsie and Laura both. I got
We're
a
drinking it
beer
now.
for recording. Elsie and Laura both bought like individual, like personal sized bottles of soju, which is meant to be what, pear and
Apple wine.
16%. It tastes like vodka.
I think
It's horrible.
previously I've had flavored ones, right? And I thought
Right.
they were sweeter.
I don't know. I've got a bit of squash in mine and it's perfectly nice. So that's what
Anyway,
we're drinking right
it's,
now.
It's interesting.
But I've not eaten really, and I've had, what would you say, a few sips of mine, and I'm actually feeling it. So
Yeah, it's strong. It's amazing that something that's 16% can taste like something that's 40%. Like it sniffs
Like vodka, yeah,
It
it does.
sniffs like fucking paint. There.
Yeah, it really does. It's absolutely. I'll be honest with you, listener. It's absolutely vile.
I think
putting on a brave face.
try it once. Get one of the flavored ones.
What's it called again?
Soju.
Soju.
Soju. Thank you. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I've been watching a lot of anime.
Likely thing for you to be doing.
The
Yeah.
most Laura sentence you've ever said.
I'm sorry, I've been
I've been
watching a
asleep all day and I've been watching a lot of anime. So typical.
I'm sorry, I've been writing a lot of fan fiction.
Oh, fuck off. That isn't one of my top 10
Sorry, I've
activities.
been in the new Japanese supermarket after going to a cat cafe. I'm sorry.
What's a really typical thing for Elsie to say? Sorry,
Sorry.
I've been having mouse dinner.
Yeah, so don't. Yeah. Okay, mouse dinner is like girl dinner, but it's like bits. It's like crackers and cheese.
Yeah.
Sometimes my dinner is that, which I know is really bad, but like as long as I'm not hungry, I'm kind of not bothered. I know it's terrible.
No, I mean, if you're taking multivits, you'll be fine.
What's a
Am I, though?
really me thing to say? Like, sorry,
I've been going for a shit.
Yeah, I
poo.
need to sit down on the toilet. My leg's already dead. That's a really me thing to say.
Oh, I've got to call the doctors.
Oh, wait, sorry, I need to...
Meg, you have paused recording in our... Go back and listen to our Big Cook, Little Cook episode, because she says, "I'm sorry, we've got to stop. I'm actually a bit concerned." And we called 111. You always are talking to a doctor's
Medical
receptionist.
I thought I was having a stroke.
God, sorry, I need to take a codeine.
The reason that we're talking so much about not the show is because this show, as much as I adore it, there isn't a huge amount to say about it without just listing things that happen in it.
Do you want more padding? I thought, well, I have something to say.
Oh my gosh, she's got a joke.
Oh,
It's
go
not
on
a
then.
joke. I had a dream the other day, which was basically like us in the future, but we're really successful and hate each other.
Oh, but like Oasis.
Well,
we,
they came back, so...
We like pretend for the public that we like each other, so we turn up to like a studio to do the podcast with like an assistant.
Kim and Aggie did that.
Yeah,
Pretended
they
to like
did,
each
yeah.
other.
How soon? How like you turn to your assistant, you're like, how soon can we get out of here? I don't want to be around these two anymore any longer than necessary.
That's so sad.
One of you two said that, and I remember sat there going, "We used to be friends."
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
so sad.
What did you
Laura.
do?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, it was your fault, wasn't it?
I have no idea what happened. Like, I didn't find out in the dream because I woke up and we were friends again. So
Who did we break up because of like one of our egos or something?
I genuinely have no idea.
Okay.
There's nothing like one of those dreams that when you wake up from it, you're grateful that it was just a dream to make you grateful about your reality.
Yeah.
I had one of those last week. When I woke up, I was like, thank God that's not real.
The only thing I'd like from that world is that we were all successful enough to have assistants.
Yeah.
They cost a lot
Right
of
now,
money.
you guys are my assistants.
Right now, you're my assistant. Meg is my...
Earlier, I was thinking about how if the podcast was body parts, Elsie's like the heart and soul. I'm
not the brain.
I'm the bones, and you're, I don't know, and you're the skin. I don't know what you are.
I would say
you're the chatterbox. You're like the voice.
the voice box. No. I think that, yes, thank you, heart and soul. You're definitely like bones or respiratory system or like circulatory system or something. And I think Laura is all cosmetic, like a really good hairdo. And I know that sounds like we
You're
could
the
easily
sex appeal. Yeah.
I know that makes you sound
that's it.
dispensable, but you're not.
No, you know how important sex appeal is in the biz.
I think you're the brain. Surely.
Cheers.
Like,
Cheers.
because
Thanks.
currently the body you're describing...
You think she's the brain?
Well, she's the brains she's the brains of the operation.
Yeah, but who keeps the motor going?
No, exactly. But then that's the heart, isn't
Who does
it?
keep the motor going?
Meg does.
Then you're the heart.
I'm not. Elsie's definitely the heart. Elsie's definitely. She might be the brain as well, but she's
Yeah.
definitely the heart.
Thank you.
And
I thought I'd be like the stomach or something.
Because you're hungry.
You know how we say
Always thinking about food. I'm sorry, I moved away from
I was thinking about sick. Because I'm talking about like food
Because
and
you're
sick.
so
Because I'm so sicky.
You know how we describe
You're more than sick.
we describe ourselves on social media as a three-headed monster because
Yeah.
we all have those accounts.
Yeah.
What if we're actually like three of the four stomachs of a cow?
Who's the fourth? I get it. They don't exist yet. The fourth stomach doesn't exist yet.
Mr.
thing is,
Adobe.
You actually can't speak to Laura on social media really unless you're in the Discord. So we're more like me and Elsie are normal heads of the dragon, and Laura's like some
Asleep.
dwarf.
the tail.
You know, like when a dolphin puts half of its brain to sleep.
Oh, shall we talk about the secret show?
We just spent so long doing a preamble, which I will heavily cut down.
Yes.
And we've all been drinking, so now let's get on to the fucking topic. So, the secret show was what are you doing with your fingers? Okay, the secret show was 52 episodes long, 2 seasons, started in 2006, ended in 2007. I watched it as a kid, right? And in lockdown, me and Arthur and Betty rewatched the whole thing start to finish using a mixture of Daily Motion and Box of Broadcasts using, I think, Arthur's uni email.
If you want to watch it now, though, it's all on Internet
It's
Archive.
all on Internet
Yeah.
Archive.
So go do that because Dailymotion adverts are annoying.
I actually have given money to Internet Archive and Wikipedia because of the person I am. I appreciate
I'd
old
love
media.
to work at Internet Archive.
Yeah. I think both those organisations do wonderful work. Anyway.
So, our entire solar system has been shrunk and turned into a mobile, hanging in a floaty head princess's bedroom aboard a mothership heading to who knows where.
Wow, hung up by the floaties.
Quite. This is a terrible breach of world security. Now, as you know, I take security so seriously, my name is changed daily. Today, you may call me...
So the secret show is a about a core team of 4. It's Professor, who's the scientist, and he's kind of like Q.
Victor, are you still alive?
Victor Volt, Anita...
2 seconds ago, we were in Switzerland.
How did that happen?
Oh, boy.
Someone's stealing Switzerland!
and the kind of M character who... his name, for reasons of security, is changed daily. So everyone always refers to him as changed daily as a name. But every episode he has a different name and it's always hilarious.
I reckon that a long time ago he stopped needing a different name every day. Like, his clearance was fine now. But the people who do it were like, let's just keep going. Let's just keep giving him names.
Well, okay, so...
Because it's not like Tom. It's always like Wiggly.
Yeah, it's like... well, I'm going to post like a supercut of all of them. I'm going to try and make that myself. I'm going to attempt that. It might take a long time, but I'm going to give it a go.
Snortington Fairy Shoes, Warty Finger Blaster, Timmy's Cheeky Chipmunk, Fudgy Birtles, Pimlico Button Fluff, Lammy Whammykin, Cheeky Chops, Yummy Yummy says my tummy, Mummy Dearest, Squeaky Fritter, Char Char Mittens, Spicy Onion Dip. Ah! Foo Foo Flubber Faucet, Tegwin Snugglepants, Sammy Saucebox, Silly Lily Longbottom, Mimsy Woo Woo, Chuckle Botty, Ickle Babykins, Rumpelstiltskinny, Prepare to be collected, Leopold Snag Trouser, Sissy Flip Flops, oh, Bubbles Kissy Cuddles. Pookie Wookie, Oinky Doinky, Honda Von Lamp Gurgle, Slinky Wagglebot, Broccoli Spears, Patty Cake, Auntie Nobbit, Nibbly Nobbly Knock Knees, Flancy Wancy Bancy Bin, Fluffy Tummy, Peekaboo, Tickle Tickle Poppy Top, Windy Pops, Engelbert Humperdinck, Pongo Piffle Paws, Kimberly Bimberly, Princess Dainty Cakes, Stinky Winky, Nibbles McPea. Oh! Flobber Wobber Bobber 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 Bobber.
How many bobbers? Was that 3 bobbers or 4? I wasn't really paying attention.
Some of my favourites are Rumpelstiltskinny. That one's good. Prepare to be collected. Engelbert Humperdinck. Engelbert Humperdinck was one in a kind of Eurovision-themed episode because that's a real singer.
The security of the World Anthem competition has been breached.
That's on television tonight.
Exactly it is. And security is everything.
One was like Fluffy Wuffykins.
Yeah, it's always like Ickle Babykins or something. Yeah. Mimsy Woo Woo is
Mimsy
good.
Woo Woo.
I love the name Mimsy.
No, you don't.
But for like a cat or a dog, not for a person.
It's like a dog that would wear a bow and sit in a pram, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what do you think of The Secret Show?
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Love it.
Watched it as a kid. Loved it then. Watched it as an adult. Love it now.
It's so funny.
I did like it, but...
Oh, here we go.
It's got that kind of... So I don't know why we were like completely entranced by High Five and watched loads of it all together. The thing with The Secret Show that I found it, because it's fundamentally kind of stupid.
Yeah, of course.
Which I liked at first, but there's like a certain amount of that I could watch as an adult before it starts to like get grating.
It's what Netflix would describe as irreverent.
True. But yeah, so it was like I liked everything I watched, but I was like, okay, if I keep watching more all now, it's going to start annoying me.
I mean, I feel that way about most cartoons because they're very loud.
And that's the thing, as a kid, you wouldn't be binge watching it like me and Elsie did this afternoon. You'd watch like one in an afternoon.
Yeah, or maybe there's like a few reruns and then it switches to another show worth of reruns.
Yeah. What me and Arthur and Betty really enjoyed about it when we were watching it over lockdown was it feels like a lovely working environment that they all have.
That's very true.
Like, it starts off in a room where Change Daly is at the front leaning on his... Laura's posing like him. Leaning on his mantelpiece with all his knickknacks on top. And he
loves his knickknacks.
He loves his knickknacks. And he gives the mission to Anita, Victor and Professor, who are all sat in big chairs. So it's like they're the core sort of group of... they're called US, UZZ.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what that stands for, but their organisation is US, and we're kind of led to believe that it's sort of a multinational sort of thing, because Victor's American, Anita is British, Professor is obviously German. Oh no, he's Bavarian, sorry, he's Bavarian.
Specifically.
Yes. And
Change Daly
is British.
Yeah.
And it never really says where they are.
Yeah.
And he gives them their mission, and they go off and complete the mission, usually aided by one of Professor's gadgets, which he likes to say all the time is completely untested and highly dangerous. And sometimes Change Daly pops up there as well, and he's always with his mantelpiece. The mantelpiece comes with him. And I don't really know how else to describe it. It's a difficult one because they're like 10 minutes long each.
Yeah.
Like everything's wrapped up.
Ah, well done, team. After brain seepage formed a tiny planet orbiting his head, Professor was, at last, able to reabsorb all the mini-professors, thus remembering how to remove my alien prison cap. Yeah, and so I was not transformed into a very large orchid.
It falls in the same sort of, to me, mental category as like Totally Spies, Kim Possible, fucking
Exactly.
Charlie's Angels, if you want like a live action, where it's like spy stuff, but it's very like
Action spy,
very cheeky,
Unserious.
very unserious in a way that I did really like. I liked how it made fun of tropes in its own genre, where there's one episode where someone's running away and Anita is chasing them, and she goes, "Oh, how do people run away before ventilation shafts?"
Yeah.
And I was
how
like,
do people escape?
Yeah, I really loved that.
Because we have discovered that agents from them have already entered their own bed.
And we need to know why.
And how?
And what.
And stuff.
I know! I bet they're using their song to brainwash everyone live on world television.
Are you taking this seriously, Victor?
Yes. Well, I just thought that...
Brainwashing people with a song.
I've seen that done hundreds of times on old cartoon shows.
So? Well, surely it doesn't matter where the idea comes from.
This is not a cartoon show, Victor! This is as real as it gets.
Sorry, Engelbert Humperdinck.
And there's three main villains. So you've got Doctor. She's... Doctor is like a mad scientist who
Went to uni with Professor.
turns out was students with Professor, and she's got very wobbly teeth. When she talks, her teeth wobble. And in season 2, there's an episode called The Killer Toothbrushes or something, and it turns out that when they were students, Professor and Doctor made a creation together.
Yeah.
And Professor, the good one, wants to abandon it in space because it's bad, and she refuses to. And he says, "Look what it's done to your teeth."
It's very like they went with the bare bones of Alien.
Yeah,
And
no,
then-
exactly.
And then they were like, okay, but you have to go back to that space station and don't pick it up, but you have picked it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want that satellite.
Why, Doctor?
Why? The same as his why. Why? Because they want it, that's why.
I mean, quick aside. Doctor, Professor. So there's a flashback and they're still calling each other Doctor and Professor when they're students. No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it would be Miss Doctor and Mr. Professor or whatever their names are. And also, you can't be a professor unless you're a teacher.
Or student, and student.
Yeah. Student doctor and student professor.
Professor is a teacher. He teaches them.
He teaches? Well, okay. Like
He
you can't,
teaches them how to use their untested and highly dangerous gadgets.
you can't be a professor unless you're like within an institution.
He also has a brother called Maestro, who is a conductor. Change Daily also has his backstory, which we find out in, I think, season 2.
The woman one?
Yeah, so part of his knickknacks is a photograph of a woman, and then it's brought up in season 2.
So there are no missions today.
That's what I keep telling you.
What? None at all?
What do you expect? It's raining.
Come on. Just because it's raining doesn't mean
Victor,
that...
it's absolutely pouring down out there.
Oh.
Are the marshmallows ready yet, Professor?
What marshmallows?
What, you greedy little... my name of the day.
As we're all just hanging out today, there's something I've always wanted to ask you, Ickle Babykins.
Oh?
Who's the girl on your mantelpiece?
I don't know what you're talking about.
This one is a big frame. This one.
Careful! Don't hurt my Lucy!
Oh, my Lucy. Lucy.
It wasn't like that.
What was it like, Ickle Babykins?
You can tell us.
Can't.
Come on, Lucy who?
Oh, Lucy Woo, if you must know. We were secret agents together. Victor and Anita of our day. How well I remember our last mission together.
I bet you do.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that.
They were like the Victor and Anita of their day.
This is like, because, so on the back of the photo, it's like, please save me, I've found the evil Leia, and because she pretends to be on the villain side at the end of this in this mission.
When they were finally parted. And
and like, she pushes him off a cliff, basically, and sends a photo with him, and on the back of the photo it's like, please help me, I was just acting, and he didn't look at it for 20 years.
Well, he said, she used to call me Potato. And they were like, what do you mean?
What?
Well, look on this picture, it says PTO. It's just so full of...
He says, Patoo.
And it's like, that's where the stupid comes in, because it's like,
It's
you're
so dumb.
You're like a high, like skilled spy, but you didn't turn over the fucking picture.
It's just so full of incredibly dumb shit. Like, there's, it's full of puns, but it's also full of just really stupid stuff. So there's an episode where Victor is in a transporter machine and there's a cat there as well, and they switch molecules. So Victor's turning into a cat, and Professor says, Victor, there's something wrong with you. And he goes, me? How? And then, so he's got 9 lives in this episode, so he can do lots of dangerous stuff in the pursuit of this cat. But there's like an obstacle thing in this chase where it's like a stamp, it's like a metal like press thing. And he stays under it for about 4 stamps. So he loses like 4 lives at once because the episode's only 10 minutes. Like, it's just such stupid stuff.
It reminds me of Kronk and Yzma.
Oh, yeah, it's very that.
Pull the lever. And
Yeah.
Those are the hijinks level.
And they're all unbelievably incompetent. They're all really incompetent.
Anita's much more competent.
Well, that was going to be my next... I mean, once again, we found ourselves with a show where the woman is the competent, slightly boring one.
Yeah.
I don't think she's that boring.
I don't think she's that boring, but that's a good point where you keep there's so many, especially animated shows, where the only one who can do fucking anything is a woman.
Yeah. I like Anita a lot. I think she's a great character, but it always bothered me that the one that like got all the jokes was Victor.
Yeah.
And the wider...
Same in Kim Possible. Kim's very able and Ron is just jokes.
Yeah. And the wider workplace of us, you've got Ray, who's, I guess, like head of security.
Yeah.
I love
Ray.
Ray's lovely. So,
Oh yeah, sorry, I just remembered which one that is.
when we were watching it in lockdown, me and Arthur and Betty, well, I've got a voice note from Arthur, and shall I play it?
I love Secret Show. I love Secret Show. I would make love to every single character in that show.
I just played that to make the point that we all fancied every single character. All three of us really fancied every character in that show. Not in a kind of, not, how do I explain this? We just have an immense fondness for every character.
Yes.
Ray being, we love Ray.
Right,
and
I
we
really
were
like
and we
Ray.
were shipping Ray with every other character. Like Ray and Changed Daily, are you kidding me?
Ray and
Ray's-
Victor.
Ray and Victor, yeah.
Ray, the one with the glasses, the aviators.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
service security guys have got glasses.
Yeah, because they all look similar.
Ray's the
Yeah.
bigger one.
Ray's the one in the slightly different, the suit, it's like a blue suit.
Yes, yeah.
He's got like an earpiece, a blue suit,
Yeah.
aviators.
Hey, oi! Pass, please.
Pass?
Pass.
Oh, no, pass. Hey, come on. I just did the eye thing, even the mom thing. I mean, do I really? I mean,
It's
do
a
I-
code red. You don't pass without the pass.
Morning.
Thanks, ma'am.
Buddy, old friend, it's Victor. How long have I known you, Roy?
Ray.
Ray. 5 years? 10? You gonna throw that away, Ray?
Look, it's not about...
If we had kids, they'd play together. Did you know that, Ray?
Would they?
Best friends. Why didn't Uncle Ray let you into work, Daddy? I don't know, son. Doesn't Uncle Ray love me anymore? No, son, I don't think he does.
Hey, Victor, I didn't mean to...
Upset our kids?
I'm sorry, Victor.
Tickle, tickle, tickle. Tickle, tickle. I love you, big guy.
Oh, okay. Just this once.
Can I go? Can I go?
Go on. Get out of here.
Thanks, Ray. You're 1 in a million. Say hi to Julie.
Yeah, Who's Julie? That guy. He's the 1 in a million, that Victor.
Hi, Ray.
Hi, Victor.
But Ray, we don't have any kids.
We love Ray. So what we love about Ray is that he's got his men around him. He's got his guys. Like, and they all love him, and
Essential part of a girl's night out. Good crew.
yeah, he's got a great crew. Like,
Yeah.
it just feels like a lovely working environment that they all have. Like, for some reason, you get the feeling from these sort of extra characters that all are animated exactly the same just to fill a scene.
Yeah.
You kind of get the idea that they just have a lovely office environment.
Ray, what on earth are you?
Oh, hello, Victor. The lads talked me into having a go.
Yeah, he has a gift, sir. It should be encouraged.
And why are you all here with him?
We're back in singers.
Raymondo and the Rayettes on in 10. On in 10.
Raymondo?
Well, we could use your help, Raymondo.
I'll never live this down.
Right. Spread out, men, and check the dressing rooms for Dr. Doctor.
On it.
I would love, they have like forensic expert reviews movies for. Yeah, I'd love
Yeah.
a former spy to like, to be like, how accurate is the Secret Show?
Yeah, there's a bit where, see, this is kind of like my problem with this show, is that covering it is hard because there's basically zero information on the background of it and who wrote it, and like, well, you can find out who wrote it, but like the production of it, like all of that. So I don't want to fall into like the trap of just listing things that have happened, but just a way to illustrate this point is there's the threat in every episode is the end of the world.
Yeah.
And there's one episode where Ray, in his lunch hour, has built an end of the world-ometer with like light bulbs going up to the top, and when it gets
Like
up to
the
the
doomsday
top,
clock.
yeah. And at the top there's like fireworks, and when the world is saved, Ray's like, well, what about my fireworks? And and one of his men is like,
So, my end of the world fireworks spectacular's off then?
Never mind, Ray. Let's set him off anyway. Well done, team.
Oh, yes.
Thankfully, the code to destroy the world is no longer in the brain of a cat, but back in the brain, back in the jelly of, back in the wobble of, it's certainly. Oh, come on, we're missing the fireworks.
and it's just so nice. It's so nice.
I think if I came home at the end of a workday and had saved the world, I'd want a lot more than fireworks.
Yeah, they work hard. They're hard workers.
the world is on the precipice fucking daily in this show.
Changed daily.
The other villains, I didn't actually mention the other one, sorry. You've got Doctor, and she's head of the organisation of them. So you've got us and them. And
you know,
them.
if you're evil, your university will take your doctorate away from you, so...
Oh, well then.
Yeah.
So them stands for the horrible, evil...
Men?
I don't know, actually. But it's us and them, which is funny, whatever. Then you've got... That's a joke. You've got the imposters. The imposters are like masked villains. They live 900 miles... No, 90 miles... They live 90 miles underground, so when they went underground to go fight them, there were raptors there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because
of
they
course,
live underground, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I watched an episode with lizard raptors, and they were like, how you identify a lizard raptor is they smell fucking awful. It's like, okay.
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 So their thing is that they can turn into like a hologram of anyone.
Yeah.
Ding Badoo!
2 seconds! We lasted 2 seconds! So much for Professor's plan.
Huh?
Huh?
What plan?
Professor!
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
No, what are you doing here?
You sent us here, remember?
I sent you into the lair of the imposters? I'd never do anything so stupid. Anyway, how could I? They caught me 2 months ago.
What? Two months ago? Oh no!
Then who's up there?
Oh.
Ah, you seem very happy today, Professor.
Oh, yes.
Funny.
This is why you gotta secret codes. You gotta have them fucking ready.
Well, they have their own secret code. So
because you start dancing, right? She does the theme tune to identify who's...
Yeah. So in literally episode 1, there's 2 Anitas, and she starts singing the theme tune, and Victor is like, oh, that's the real Anita. But before that, both Anitas are trying to get Victor to come towards them. And it's a great way of establishing characters in the first episode, because both Anitas, not just the real one, both of them are going, come on, Victor, good boy, come on. And it's like, yes, that's Victor.
He's a dog.
No, Victor! I'm the real Anita! Don't listen to her, Victor! I'm the real Anita! Come to me! Come on, boy! Come on! Come on, Victor! I've got the treat! Come on! Yes! Victor! Come on, boy! Come to me! Come on! Come on, Victor!
Victor, are you still alive?
Imposters do have their own, like, saying that they say to each other. They go, ding, badoo.
Yeah.
And after watching it for, like, 2 episodes, we were like, that's really dumb. And then after about 20 episodes, every time they went, ding, badoo, and me and Arthur and Betty would just fall about.
I think if we're ever in a shapeshifter situation, Ding Badoo's a great secret code.
Okay, fine.
yeah, if that ever happens, yeah. Do you know what I love? I love the intro.
It's banging.
No, I'm not even talking about the music. I'm talking about the pre-credit scene.
Oh, I can't believe we've not mentioned that yet.
Every time, and it starts every time with a little old lady in a rocking chair outside, and she's got a
Sweet Little Granny is her name.
Sweet Little Granny. And she's got like a ukulele and loads of little rabbits around her.
Pink
and
rabbits.
It's called The Fluffy Bunny Show. Perfect Peasy would fucking love that show.
Oh, he'd eat it up.
Because I think I saw one where they blow her up.
Yeah.
Right? So they like clear out all the bunnies, make all their men move back and hand her a bomb and walk away. And I was like...
So go explain, Meg.
Yeah, so the idea is that they need that time slot to run the secret urgently to run the secret show. So the beginning of every episode starts with her and then starts with all of the secret agent men coming in and clearing her out some way.
Violently.
Often.
It's usually Ray. It's Ray and his men.
Yeah. And then...
Sorry, sweet little granny. We need this time slot urgently.
Run the secret show. And then it goes into the credits. But it's different every episode, which
It's
I love.
great.
Hello, little cutesy wootsy sweet pea bunny friends. Sweet little granny here. Welcome to the Fluffy Bunny Show. Shall we sing our song? Okay. Fluffy, fluffy bunnies bouncing in the wood. Fluffy,
Positive
fluffy
ID on the
bunnies
granny. Over. Copy that.
bouncing
Prepare to clear this time slot. Over.
Safety off.
Launch the granny. Go, go, go!
Get that bunny!
5 seconds to go.
Incoming! Clear?
Clear.
Run the secret show.
That opening sequence bit made me think, like, I can really see how this show and other ones like it were like how us watching it as kids has built our humor, because it's so dry and so dark at times, and like self-referential, which I think is very much the humor of people our age.
Yeah. One of the best ones, I think, is... I have two favourites, actually. One is when Ray gets his little nephew to help him clear her out and then lets him say, run the secret show. And it's like just a little bit of domesticity is nice.
It's a little, was it Suicide or Suicidal Bunnies?
Bunny Suicides.
Bunny Suicides, which I totally forgot about for about 10 years and then was like, oh yeah.
Actually, I think it was Elsie who mentioned it.
This has happened more than once in my life.
We were talking about this the other day. And
Yeah,
Elsie
Bunny
brought up
Suicides was
Bunny
dark.
Suicides.
That has also shaped our generation's humour.
Yeah.
It's a series of cartoon strips of like different creative ways for bunnies to kill themselves, and the old cream egg adverts
I was literally
where
about
they
to
were
say.
like splitting themselves in fun ways.
Just crushing themselves in various ways, like getting naked, taking off their wrapping, and like doing various things to kill themselves.
And my other favourite opening is sweet little granny is getting a hip replacement, so grandpa is running the show. And he's like this like Southern American, like,
he's massive.
Welcome to the Fluffy Bunny Show. My name is Sweet Old Grandpa. I guess y'all wondering where sweet little granny is, huh? Well, she's having a hip replacement operation. She'll be fine. She's been through worse. Okay, shall we sing the song? What? I'll do it anyway. I spent all last night learning the thing. Right, okay. Fluffy, fluffy bunnies bouncing in the wood. Fluffy, fluffy bunnies bouncing as they
Prepare
should.
to clear this time slot.
Bounce,
On my mark.
around.
Go, go!
Hey, what is this? Oh, no, you don't.
Red alert.
You ain't taking my bunnies. Not on my watch.
no one takes my bunnies, like he fights back.
Oh, that's wicked. I didn't see that.
And he's like running about throughout the show. So throughout the show, you can see bunnies hopping around. Like they're just hidden in places. And there's two other versions of that. Like there's so much detail in it. So there's an episode where spiders are like secret spies. And this isn't until a little bit later on, but in every episode, in at least one scene, you can see a spider just going up someone's chair or going up a picture frame or something.
Yeah, because Meg said earlier to me, she was like, there's an episode that's called The Secret Thing, or is about a secret thing.
That's the first episode.
That's the pilot. And then you were like, oh, that secret thing is in every subsequent episode somewhere, which I love. I hope the working environment of making the show was similar to what is depicted in the show.
Yeah, because it feels like they really loved it. Like there is loads and loads and loads of detail in the show.
Yeah, something that I wanted to go on to was the cast. So they're all very prolific voice actors.
Yeah, I was going through some of them and I was like, oh, I've seen that. There's a Fimbles actor in both.
Yeah,
Is that Anita?
Yeah.
She sounds like the I can't remember her name.
She is Florrie.
Yes.
She wasn't the original Florrie. She was a subsequent Florrie, and she didn't do as much Florrie. But she's done other voices in the Fimbles. So Alan Marriott plays Victor Volt. He's a Canadian actor. Kate Harbour, the only female actress in it, plays every female role. And you can tell, but she's very good. Robert Rackstraw plays Professor. Keith Wickham plays Change Daly, and Martin Hyder plays Ray. So Martin Hyder's done less voice work, but he's a comedy writer, so his IMDb is filled with like shows that I assume he's not done voice work on because it's like sketch shows and things. Like he's done like Harry and Paul is on there, and it's like he must have just been a writer on that. Keith Wickham is in...
It's so unfortunate that he didn't get to play Chief Wickham.
Yeah. Yeah. Keith Wickham's in everything. So he's in a lot of Thomas media. And I did not know this until this afternoon. He was Cornel the dog in Watch My Chops.
Oh, really?
He was Watch My Chops, Bernie.
I am a dog that's incredibly bright. I can talk, read and write. And surf the net all of the day and all of the night. Cornel, you can talk! And much more, Bernie, but keep it to yourself.
We've recently had
a request
from friend of the pod, Matt,
to do Watch My Chops, which I loved.
Yeah, it's a great show. But yeah, I had no idea that he was in that.
It's about a dog,
really
Laurie,
cool.
you'll like it.
Yeah, a talking dog.
I'm easy.
But yeah, all of them are in a lot of things that we would recognise. I want to talk about the cast because you can tell in multiple scenes, but mostly Change Daly's scenes, especially when he's at the mantelpiece at the beginning giving their brief. You can tell that it's been animated to his improvisation. So the way that he plays the character is like slightly drunk and giving like little weird noises in between he's so funny. He's so good.
I can't bring any to mind right now, but I do love it when they record the voice actor and then they use the like things the voice actor did in the actual animation. I love it when
they're very clearly doing that. You can actually hear them having a lot of fun.
I'd just like to thank Professor for cutting short his pointy stick conference and getting back here so promptly.
I brought gifts for everyone.
Don't tell me, a pointy stick.
A souvenir pointy stick. Oh, thank you.
No, it's okay.
Now, as you know, my name for reasons of security is changed daily. Today, you may call me...
Like, Kate Harbour playing Sweet Little Granny is so funny. The way that the noises she's doing when Sweet Little Granny is like straining to hear the audience. So she says, "Shall we sing our song?" And then there's like sometimes like as long as a 3-second pause where she's like waiting to hear the audience say yeah, and you can hear her go
yeah. I was like, wait, what's happening? But okay, that's genius.
Change Daly looks a bit like Matt Berry.
He does.
And kind of like current Pierce Brosnan.
And a little bit, who's in our bathroom?
Oh, Rob Delaney.
Yes.
Everyone knows already that we have a
Rob room.
A Rob Delaney printout the size of our door, right?
Nice. I wish it was full-sized.
Rob Delaney sized.
Yeah.
If Rob Delaney were 3 foot. I mean, it's still 3 foot tall, so it's still quite big.
It's quite big.
We had to custom order it.
Yeah, so it's a picture that he posted on his own Twitter, and we thought it was so funny and also a little bit sexy, and we were like, it would be really funny to have it on our bathroom door.
I just realized with you saying that, I'm like, that actually sounds really weird, the thing we've done.
Well, actually, if you follow Rob Delaney on Twitter, I feel like doing that is really on brand, in keeping with Rob Delaney's own personal brand.
Just imagine gender flipped.
Well, yeah, but, you know.
Okay, yeah, but he's wearing, like, he's wearing, like, boxers and running shoes and a T-shirt. And if a woman was doing that would also be very funny, wouldn't it?
It's hilarious. In fact, I got quite offended when my dad walked in there once. Well, no, both my parents came over. It's always fun when we have guests.
Oh, yeah.
We love to see their reaction.
Yeah, but it's so weird when they say nothing.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mum and Dad said nothing. And I brought it up. I was like, so did you see him? And my dad said, yeah, that has to be his face on someone else's body. And I was, like, actually offended on behalf of Rob Delaney because he's looking great.
Yeah.
We once, our landlords came round. And we forgot to, because typically we'd take that down if our landlords were coming round, and we forgot. And our landlady went for a wee, and I was standing in the kitchen with Elsie, and I went, oh, the Rob's still on the door. And we were like, oh, fuck, she's just gone in there, closed the door, she sat down on the toilet, she's going to see it. She came out, and she said nothing either.
Yeah.
And I said, I felt like I needed to break the silence. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, sorry about the Rob on the door. We take that down when guests come round usually. And she went, I've got 2 sons. I don't care. She was like, I've seen much, 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 much worse.
Yeah, it's not like salacious in
It's
any
not.
way.
It's funny.
Like, it's
so
hard
funny.
to explain to people.
Yeah. A little bit difficult.
Well, the
to
worst
explain.
reaction is, who is Rob Delaney? That's the most upsetting. I mean, just to keep this on topic with the theme of our podcast, not only is he a brilliant comedian, but he was the first person ever to do a sign language CBeebies bedtime story.
Aww.
Did you not know that?
I didn't know that. That's so sweet.
I'm getting chills just
3
talking
in the
about
bed,
it.
and the little one said, roll over.
Roll over. That was the story.
And they all rolled over.
Oh, that's it is weirder when someone, I think my brother or his girlfriend, when they came out of the bathroom, one of them was like, why have you got some random man on your door? And I was like,
not a random man.
I was like, yeah, it's Rob Delaney. And
we
I'm
thought
like,
about it quite carefully.
Laura is very defensive of this now, but when me and Elsie first got this printed, she was very against it. And now she's so for it that she's cut out more Robs and put them in the room, and that's why she calls it the Rob room.
We've got Robin from Batman.
That was Meg's choice.
We've got Bob Mortimer.
Yep.
With
that was
his
collective.
With his cheese puff hat.
Yeah.
And we've got Robert Pattinson as Edward Cullen.
Yeah, when he's doing this was a TikTok thing.
Yeah, when he's doing the bad smell pose.
This was a TikTok thing, but I thought it was hilarious, so we've done it too.
Yeah, and that sits proudly on our toilet.
We have more Robs ready to be cut out and put in there, but none of us have done it.
No, yeah, we've got a list.
The Rob room.
The Rob room.
I almost bought a cutout, like a cardboard cutout of Robert De Niro to put in there.
Oh, that's good.
But I could, because the littleness of it, we get enough packages that I could make that. So I was like, I'm not spending money on it.
So if you've got any Rob suggestions, I really want to get Dread Pirate Roberts in there. I want Carrie Elwes in our bathroom.
I want Dr. Robert Liston.
Oh, good. Good, yeah. That's a good one.
Fastest knife in the...
Robbie Burns.
Robbie Burns. Yeah, good.
I like it when it's just paintings. That would confuse everyone so much.
It's so weird because once we did take that down when our landlords were coming round, and it was so weird looking at a blank door.
It
was horrible.
I need eye contact to wee.
It is a bit weird going in there when you're quite pissed.
I mean, your eye
staring Rob Delaney in the face.
Well, no, because you're actually eye to eye with his bulge.
Yeah. Staring him in the nuts.
And we've put a sticky mustache on his face now, which I don't think we can take off without ruining the picture.
I concur.
Yeah. But that's fine.
Maybe I did that drunk as well.
Did you?
Yeah. It was our Halloween party.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
It was absolutely wasted.
Meg was dressed up as Magnum PI.
That's why we had the mustaches.
A bunch of mustaches. Your door still has a label on it that says staff only from that same party.
Yeah. Well, my door had that sign as well, but I just let people in.
So did mine. Your room became the cloak room, and I gave someone a fucking tour of all my stuff.
No one else went in my room.
Yeah, no one went in your room. That's why the staff only is still there.
It's the only one that lived up to its name.
She's heading towards the stage.
We'll block her from the West Wing.
Freeze! Right. You're coming with us.
I don't think so.
Hypnotize, 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 hypnotize the world! Hypnotize, 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 hypnotize the world!
Hypnotize, 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 hypnotize.
Ray, get them! What have you done? Hypnotize them with my song, and soon the whole world will be hypnotized and in my power.
I knew it.
I got the idea from some old cartoon show.
Yes, I was right. Yes, who's your daddy?
Did you find anything about like the art style production wise? Because I thought it was
No.
super interesting. It's like very cut out almost.
It is. It's very geometric.
It's very Phineas and Ferb.
That's what I thought.
Yes, it is.
It's very Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
Which came
Triangular.
first?
I would imagine
The
that
Phineas
and
or the
Ferb.
Ferb?
I actually don't know why I said that, but I don't know.
Do you want me to find out?
Yes,
or-
please.
Yeah, sure.
While you're doing that,
Chat amongst yourselves.
Yeah. We posted the opening on Instagram, and someone commented saying if my run cycle looked like that, I'd be fired. So a run cycle, I believe, and I should have checked with Betty because she studies animation, is the way that you animate a character running. It's the series of movements.
Yeah.
And after they said that, I looked at it and I was like, it does look... They do look a bit
Janky.
laboured, but I don't know if that was the point because it's clearly made by very talented people.
Secret Show was first.
Secret Show was first,
By
great.
1 year. So they
Okay.
were probably overlapping in production, so I don't think anyone copied anyone. But...
Sure.
Do you know what I love about the style is the fingers of the
Ah,
characters.
yes!
Why?
They've all got 3 fingers on each hand and they're like really long.
I actually think they might have a normal amount of fingers.
5.
I think they've got 5 on each hand,
Oh,
but
right,
they're
okay.
long and square on the end.
Oh, yeah. It's very like Cartoon Network in the 2000s. It was
Yeah.
like a square hand.
A little claw-like.
Look at them.
Oh, yeah, they're weird. It's 4 fingers.
Ah, okay. No, that's 3.
It's 3 fingers and a thumb, right? So 4 fingers.
okay.
Sorry. But yeah,
Fine.
so their fingers are so long in proportion to their bodies.
They truly are. Look at that.
How big
Look
the
at
hand is.
Yeah. So I kind of ship Victor and Anita. Anyone else?
No.
No?
Victor
No.
and Ray. Victor and Ray.
Victor and Ray.
I think Anita deserves a put together person. I think she should date one of the Turley Spies. They'd get on very well.
What about Victor and Change Daily? No, sorry. Anita and Change Daily is what I meant to say.
That's
I'm
better.
unclear of the age difference.
That's better.
Are you clear of the age difference? Well, when he was the Victor of his day, and Victor we know to be 20.
Yes.
And
Is that all?
I'll explain why in a minute. I know, he's like their top spy. It's not right, but anyway.
Not correct.
When he was the Victor of his day and he was quote-unquote abandoned by Lucy Wu.
That was 20 years ago.
That was 20 years ago.
So he's at least 40.
So he's at least 40.
But you can imagine her with a suave older gentleman.
You can,
imagine her with a
right?
suave
Who'd
older
take
gentleman.
care of her.
But
Yeah.
I do, again, think she deserves someone more put together than Change Daily.
Yeah, Change Daily is also an idiot.
Yeah. Crucially, she had to tell him to turn over the page.
I mean, he's a drunk.
He is.
I mean, they're in the
Speaking holding alcohol, he
in
is.
the opening episode. He is supposed to say, "I'll hold the fort," and he says, "I'll hold the port." I mean, fort.
There's an episode where he has to go back into the field, and he's bad at everything. Like he was like, he really. It's the one where he goes back and meets his old partner, right? And she's like, "Glad to see you kept it up."
Well, yeah, because she's been on a hamster wheel for 20 years, so she is fit as a fucking fiddle.
Yeah.
And he's
he
like...
keeps falling over.
Lucy!
Is it really you?
Yes.
You!
Yes.
You!
Yes.
You! Stupid, half-baked, idiotic fool! Where have you been?
Lucy.
I've been waiting to be rescued for 20
yes,
years!
I can explain.
Explain!
Rather him than me.
So, Professor, we need to talk about.
Right.
My favourite Professor moment, and this is something that's stuck with me since I watched it as a child. Like, it's one of the very few things that actually stayed in my head that reminded me that the show was funny. There's an episode where Doctor has been infiltrating everyone's dreams, and she's making them dance in their dreams so that everyone's too tired during the day. And
fascinatingly incorrect, but yes.
Well, really.
Yeah, they have 3 fingers and they're a square and half the length of their body.
My contribution to most things in life is neuroscience and psychology. So
by all means, Laura would be the brain of our...
Do I feel like the brain of our operation?
No. You use your brain to know about brains.
Am I I think what we get into there is podcast roles, household roles.
I don't know if you're the brains of the household either. Laura's so smart, but she's so stupid.
I am really
She's
stupid.
the only one that knows how to pay our rent, Meg.
I do all
No, she's just the only one who has a landlord saved as payee.
I do all the money. Okay, I do most of the money. I do the meter readings. I fix everything. I organize the fridge and the cupboards.
Right. Who asked you to do that?
No, I asked me to do that because I like to know where everything is.
Yeah, Laura likes to organise the fridge and then we get in trouble for putting things in the fridge.
It's unbelievable that of the 3 of us, Laura has the most ADHD as well.
For sure.
But you're working very hard to combat it, I can see that.
Oh my god, earlier, so I was in the kitchen with Laura and she said to me, can I have one of your bagels? And I said, she said, can I have one of your bagels? And I said, those are Elsie's, mine are in the freezer. And
You've
Laura,
had about 3.
And Laura said, I've had 3. And I said, I didn't think Elsie was getting through them quickly because they're going quite fast, but I've not seen her eat any. And Laura was like, oh, and I was like, right, so you're happy to take my things from me, but not Elsie's things.
We have an unspoken agreement about the bagels. Actually, it is spoken agreement about the bagels. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's fine. No, it's okay. I'm going to have one tomorrow. I'm actually glad that... So bagels come in 5s and I don't eat them that frequently, but I wanted bagels when I bought them, so I do appreciate you getting through them for me.
So basically, Laura needs to know where my things are.
Well,
so
no.
she eats mine and not Elsie.
I know where everything is in relation to each other. So if there was like a black hole in the map of the fridge, that would make me struggle more.
Right, okay.
So I know where your things are. Currently, we don't have a system, so I don't know where anything is.
Back to the dream episode.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
That's okay. So, to combat this dream infiltration inception style, he puts them... Professor takes Victor and Anita and for some reason change daily. And they're in a bed.
The jokes.
They're in a triple bed together. Well, a quadruple bed because the mantelpiece has to be there as well.
Fucking hell.
And you can see the fire through the... lighting up through the duvet.
He literally says, I need it with me.
And he puts them to sleep under laboratory conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And...
Laboratory conditions or laboratory conditions?
Labrador conditions. Laboratory conditions. Thank you.
Lavatory conditions.
I'm sorry that I'm just repeating a joke. I could just put a clip in, but this is just one of my favourite moments of the entire show.
No, absolutely.
He starts howling.
Go to sleep! Counting sheep! There are several!
And they're like,
Professor.
yeah, and they're like, what's happening? And he says, it's a Bavarian bedtime howl.
It's an ancient Bavarian bedtime howl. My mother used to sing it to me.
Which he's so proud of. And the lyrics of the howl is, go to sleep, counting sheep, there are several. Anyway, they go quiet. And he says, I never told my mother to shut up when she howled me to sleep.
You need to put a clip in anyway.
Yeah, I do. I will. It's so funny.
Never told my mother to shut up when she howled me to sleep.
Anyway, it's the reason I'm struggling to talk about this show is because what we pride ourselves on here at Thoughts TV is that we take a non-surface level look at the show. You know, we like to talk about like, what does this mean for the culture? What does this mean? What did this mean then compared to now? Like actual ideas and shit. And we can't do that with this.
This is something I remember watching a lot when I was off sick. This and Watch My Chops, I remember being on like reruns in the day.
So a lot of Keith Wickham in your ears as a child.
I think
Thanks, Keith.
this show 100% could be made now, basically unchanged, because I think it still completely holds up.
I mean, yeah, unlike Basil Brush,
Yeah.
the last thing we recorded, this is aged pretty well.
Yeah. Because it's also stylistic. There's no aging really in the animation.
Yeah, not at all.
Especially, so the jokes, the like self-referential jokes, like the ventilation shaft one, works for adults as well. Like in the way that's not like vulgar.
Yeah.
None of those jokes are vulgar, but I don't think like a 7-year-old knows enough spy tropes to know that's a joke. So I think that also holds up really well because like it's funny for someone older watching it as well.
I mean, me and Elsie spent the afternoon watching it, and I was completely diverted by it the whole time. It was so good.
You guys were laughing
so
a lot.
Funny. It
Yeah.
is really funny.
Like, it's something I like about it is just for example, the Change Daily names. They're obviously, because it's CBBC, it's completely non-vulgar, and yet funny words are still funny.
Yeah.
Leopold Snag Trouser is one of his names. It's funny, and I have a feeling, I cannot confirm this, that because
that's feelings.
All right. Sorry. Fucking bitch. So, there is a behind the scenes video, I think the only behind the scenes video of The Secret Show, where Keith Wickham is taking you through the studios, but he's behind the camera and he's doing the voice of Change Daily.
Oh, like a vlog.
So it's like a Change Daily vlog, and he goes into the studio with the other actors and they're sat in a line with a microphone each. So I feel like they were all recorded together.
Oh, I love it when shows do that.
I think they were, and I get the feeling, because it's so natural sounding, that those actors possibly hear his name in real time, because they all have a laugh after he names his name.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that's what happened.
21 years ago, we sent our best agent undercover into Dimension 10. That agent was Lionel Volt.
My dad? An agent? But you told me he was
That was just a cover story, Victor.
So I spent all those years learning how to spell endin carbocandin faderologist for nothing?
Yep. Now, I would like to hand you over to another of our top agents. Step forward, Special Agent Mildred Volt.
Mom? Mom? My mom?
Okay, now.
That's my mom!
Listen up. Thank you, Professor.
It's amazing that they managed to get so much into the time that they have in the episode, considering that like literally the first 2 minutes are not the same, but the same formula. It's like the getting rid of the rabbit grandmother, the intro music, and then Change Daily introducing his name.
I feel like I'm missing out a lot of things that I need to say, but all of those things are actually just jokes I like.
Yeah.
Which is not how to do a podcast.
And this one was good, and then this one was good.
I laughed at this, I laughed at this.
Do you know what episode I loved? The one where they meet aliens and the aliens smell so good that they eat them.
Oh my god,
that's so turtles.
Have you seen that one, Laura?
Yeah, I think so. With this beeping.
I don't know.
There's like an alien and like a thing.
Yeah, in a cloche.
Yeah, in a cloche.
The alien looks like a snake, and the leader of the world meets the alien, and it smells
It's
like
televised.
chicken, and she slurps it up like a piece of spaghetti.
Well, no, it's not the leader of the world. It
is.
No, the leader of the world in this show is...
shit, yeah, no,
she's
sorry.
a big woman. She's like a big tall woman with a tiny little husband. And she talks in gibberish, and the only person that can translate is her husband, so he's the one that talks.
And as the world leader states so clearly...
But Victor and Anita are dressed up as those two because of security reasons. So for the televised version of meeting the first alien, Victor and Anita had to be the ones on telly.
Yeah.
And they meet the alien and the cloche comes off and the smell is so good that Anita just fucking eats this alien.
Slurps up.
And it's so funny.
This reminds me of, I don't know if you guys know much about this. They were trying to bring a particular species of turtle back to the British Museum to be like classified.
I knew this.
Yeah, to be like classified in that. And they would have a bunch of these turtles on board because you can stack them, right? So that they had loads and loads of them on board, and it took a crazy amount of time. I can't remember how long it was, but it's like over a decade before these turtles actually made it back to London because they kept eating them because they were
too good.
They were A, delicious, and B, they'd have like a so slightly gruesome, but if you like cut open the belly of this particular species of turtle, it also has like a water store, so there'd be like fresh water inside the turtle, so it would be like, okay, so we need this water, also here's some food. So it took a really long time to bring
Honestly,
back a living.
Fair enough.
I can't really
hungry.
fault. Yeah,
I've never been at sea for years and years.
Yeah,
being fucking hungry.
So you get halfway back to the UK. Oh fuck, we finished all the turtles. Might as well go back and get some more.
I can't bring a turtle back to you if I'm dead. So
I can't really fault them for doing it, but it is why the turtle population of that particular species is very low now.
So in this episode, everyone smells their own favourite food. Crucially, their own favourite meat.
What happened?
You ate the alien live on world television.
No, really, what happened?
And now again in slow motion.
Yeah, so
And
more
slurp
aliens
them up.
come to Earth.
And Victor is
people
like...
keep eating them.
And Victor's like, I know why I'm not affected. And then there's like a fleet of like space scooters and they all have like a little leaf on the side and they're all vegetarians.
Aww. They're all vegetarians, so they go off to try and save the day, but as it turns out, some of them are affected because they do eat fish.
So Ray goes with them.
One of them's
and Victor's like, Ray, since when was a fish a vegetable?
yeah. He like, they're smelling surprisingly fishy, aren't they? And then he eats one, and he's like, when was a fish a vegetable? All right, guys, put your hands up if you eat fish. And they're all
and
like,
they all do it, like,
yeah,
oh, sometimes.
yeah.
Oh, because you need the vegans to actually do this one.
Yeah.
The committed one.
And then
or, you know, the vegetarians.
The committed vegetarians.
And then
the ones that don't slip into pescatarianism when it,
And then as it turns out, at the end of the episode, they actually needed people to eat them in order for them to like reproduce. So they're like
fucking alien again.
So they all basically like, is it like they burp out? Is it burp?
They burp out like a new species. And
they like come out in bubbles, and they're basically just babies of the alien.
And they're like, thank you for being part of our life cycle. Thank you for your acidic digestive tract.
It's a bit like the adipose episode of Doctor Who where fat turns into babies.
Yeah. And they were like, you'd be like,
cute.
You'd be so fucking relieved that that was actually what you were supposed to do.
It's a great episode. And at the end, they're having their debrief, and Change Daily says,
mankind has sought the answer to the biggest question of all. Why are we here? Well, now we know. Everybody comfortable with that?
Oh, yeah. Very comfy.
Good.
I once saw a tweet that said that Dr. Ertka pizzas are like aliens pretending to be pizzas.
I like Dr. Ertka pizzas.
Yeah,
Everyone
me too.
judges
They
me
are,
for it.
But I don't know how to explain it, but every single Dr. Ertka pizza flavour tastes the same.
True.
It could have any different thing on it, but they will all taste the same.
There was not.
They all taste like the chicken and spinach one this week or not.
There was not
they all do.
There was not a huge amount of like frozen pizza brands in Singapore, so Dr. Ertka is kind of the only reliable one that you'd find. So I ate that for fucking years all the time because my dad was away a lot, so it was like, oh, what are you having for dinner? Another Dr. Ertka pizza. So I
they
really
used to be a
them.
lot cheaper, and then people started finding them delicious, and now they're like 12
Do you remember
quid.
the ad? Do you remember the ad for it where she cuts out a random triangle from the middle? It's
Oh
really
yeah. But the thing is, that's the only pizza you can do that with.
because it's not a pizza.
It's an alien pretending to be a pizza.
Yeah, it is. It's an alien food masquerade. You have to explain to an alien what a pizza was.
And for them to morph into it.
Yeah.
One day, someone's going to try and eat a Dr. Urtka pizza, and it's going to be a mimic. Neither of you will get that.
Okay.
Someone might get
Thanks
that.
for making a joke we don't get.
Someone will. And that's all we need.
Someone at home is laughing. Fortunately, by the time you've edited this and put this out, you can get rid of that because you'll forget she said it.
I will remember. It's a D&D thing.
Yeah, when are you going to get around to listening to this episode? By the time you listen to it, you'll have forgotten you made that joke.
That's not an incorrect statement.
You must get Earth's gravity back at all costs. P.S. Oh no, that's personal. Carry on.
Does anyone have any other memorable moments from the show before we try and talk about something deep about it?
They're all quite cool.
They feel cool, don't they?
Cool.
It feels cool. It feels like a nice place to work.
Yeah. I feel like just based on the fact that MI6 or MI5 is one of the top hires of gay people, some of the people in that office are gay.
Well, even though he keeps a picture of Lucy Wu on his mantelpiece, he maintains that there was nothing between them. And I believe
him,
that Lucy Wu was played by Felicity Kendall. The only other female actor in that show.
Ever graced
love
this show.
Felicity Kendall.
Me too. I hope I'm correct about that. Shall I check right now? Because, talk amongst yourselves.
You having that drink in front of the method bottle kind of makes it look like you're having a little drinky of disinfectant.
I just want to feel clean.
All right, Donald Trump.
Fucking hell, yeah.
You're not like the other floaty boys. You're
kind,
weak.
Thanks.
Yeah, Felicity Kendall was
cool.
The only other. It's her and Kate Harbour against the world.
Ping! Ping! Oh, Ping, I'm sorry. I was gonna tell you I was a sticky head after you popped, but there was no time. I lost my head. You got out of hand.
Pong, you even took my pretty solar system.
I know. That's why I'm here. You see, one of those planets is my home.
Your home?
Yes, and I need your help, Ping. Right now, our planet should be floating free, just like your head.
But how do you know you can trust me?
Because you're not like the other floaties. You're...
kind?
Weak.
Oh.
I think it's really interesting, something that I was talking to Meg about this earlier, a 2000s thing. So there's like genres that go in and out of fashion, right? So like heists are kind of in and out of fashion at the moment. Spy stuff was so popular in the 2000s that I was just thinking, like, there's so many spy shows and
I think
movies.
a lot of children, when we were children, wanted to be spies.
Yeah. Why?
Because it's cool, it's secret.
True. It's just it's completely fallen out of, like, if I talk to my cousins about it, they're 10 now, they turned 10 very recently. If I talk to them about it, they probably don't watch any spy stuff. They'd probably, the only spy stuff they'd be able to be like, oh, James Bond. But like, there was so much spy stuff made when we were kids.
You're so right. My brother had those sunglasses that had the mirrors at the side so you could see behind you.
Yeah, what?
Actually, you have a similar thing.
Do I?
Yeah.
You have those
goggles?
No, you have those glasses.
Crochet glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That have
I
the
do.
mirrors in them so you can see the TV and you crochet at the same time.
They're like reading glasses for like when you're lying down, so that they project your vision 90 degrees, like, or more than 90 degrees.
So you can see what's beneath you.
Yeah, you can see what, so like if you're walking
without
around
craning
wearing,
your neck.
Yeah, if you're walking around wearing them, you see your feet.
You do lose significant cool points for that.
Well, it makes you look like a snail. Because they're sort of pointing out like little feelers.
It does, but also I've heard that if you're outside using them, be really careful because you can get a moment where the sun is just reflected directly into your eyeballs.
Death ray straight into your eyeballs.
Yeah.
I'm patching through a weak video signal now.
10.4, 3.1, 7.8.
Which of the three of us do you think is the coolest? Because I definitely think that puts Laura
Well,
right to the bottom.
I think that you should think you're, like, not you, Meg, specifically, you and
the royal you.
The royal you should think you're the coolest out of, like,
for self-esteem reasons.
For self-esteem reasons, but also out of the three of us, because we have, like, a lot in common, but we have loads of varied interests that don't overlap.
All very different, aren't we?
Really? Yeah. I think we've lived together so much that I think we're just one homogenous blob.
We had someone on the Discord that was like, you guys have really similar personalities. I don't think, yeah.
Well, I think it's easy to think that when we come together to talk about one thing.
Yeah. We agree about a lot, but we have a lot of stuff that doesn't overlap.
Politically, we're on the same page.
One time, me and Laura were having a conversation, and Elsie walked in and said, you know, listening to you two talk is just like listening to two people agree. And we were like, that's always a conversation.
It's always two dumb bitches telling each other exactly.
That conversation predates that by years, I will say.
No, I know.
Because I think, to me, I am the coolest, but like if you take it objective
but think
standpoint,
about you wearing those glasses.
Yeah.
Are you still the coolest?
Me wearing those glasses, though, I'm not the coolest. But it's like you take an objective view versus a subjective view. I think you should think you're the coolest.
Meg, do you think you're the coolest of the three of us?
No, I do think that we're all cool in our own separate ways.
Well,
none of us are spy cool.
The birthday present I bought myself this year.
Oh God.
Was a tote bag. Printed on it the Cloud9, the George Harrison Cloud9 album cover, because I think it is the hardest album cover ever made.
See, I think you get 100 people, right? You ask them, you tell them a bunch about each of the three of us. I think you'll get like a fairly 30 to 40 spread for each of us thinking that person's the coolest, if that makes sense.
Well, that's generous to me.
Because I think there's certain things that each of us go into that someone's going to think is cool and someone else isn't.
I don't think that I'm that cool.
I think you're cool.
Cheers.
I have the coolest tech setup, but that's not exactly... You guys aren't trying, so...
Also, a tech setup is inherently uncool.
Depending on who you ask.
Or really cool.
I mean, if you ask uncool people, that's cool.
Meg,
they're going to say, that's really cool, mate.
Of the three of us, you are the most obsessed with Star Trek, so who are you to say that?
Yeah,
you love sci-fi.
Yeah, very true. Bitch with George Harrison on a tote bag.
All three of us have really uncool things about us, right?
What's the most uncool thing about you then, do you think?
This podcast.
Yeah, it is. Harsh but true.
Harsh but true.
Piano! What the? You stole Earth's gravity just so you could have falling down parties?
Yes!
Like, I have a mixture of like 20-year-old tech bro hobbies and then grandma hobbies. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, we can all do some very cool things and some very uncool things. I mean, yeah, I don't broadcast the Star Trek thing because I have a job.
Do you think your boss wouldn't like Star Trek? Or doesn't like Star Trek?
I hope he doesn't mind me saying this because he does know about the podcast, but his specialist subject is Back to the Future, which you all know is also my favourite film.
Oh, you love it.
But one of my colleagues sends a comedy quiz every Monday, and one day he wasn't in, so my boss, in lieu of him, sent a quiz, but the quiz was Back to the Future, and he got 100% on the quiz.
What, because he set it?
Yeah, well, it was like, yeah, you fiddled this, so you can win.
Okay, here's how we decide who's the coolest. What is everyone's mastermind subject?
My mastermind subject is The League of Gentlemen.
Okay.
Flags of the World.
Interesting. I think I'd probably do like Mass Effect lore. All three of those are lame as fuck.
Actually, I'd make a case for mine.
Mine is the most practical.
Yours is definitely the most practical.
Barely.
What do you mean? It's a bit more universal than Mass Effect lore.
The only time that's useful is pub quizzes and GeoGuessr.
Yeah, how often does Mass Effect lore come up in pub quizzes? At least I'm useful in a pub quiz.
I have seen my specialist subject appear as a specialist subject on Mastermind.
Oh, fair. We played Trivial Pursuit yesterday.
Flora won.
Laura was losing for so long, and then she came back. And won.
What, like,
it's a game of luck, I swear.
It isn't a game of luck. Well, okay, except for the dice
because I was getting everyone else's questions right and not my own.
Well, yeah, it's a combination of both. That's why there's a dice.
I love a game of Trivial Pursuit.
I love trivia. I've never played it before. Why have I never played it before? Why have my family done this to me?
It's a great game.
Have we established who the coolest is yet?
No, we're all
I don't think we should. I don't think we should. We could set up a poll.
We are all equally lame. That's true.
Yeah.
Doctor, what are you doing here? Ask them.
Victor, are you still alive?
Yes! I'm still... Oh, that's the piggies.
Did he really say piggies?
Yeah, very interesting. A plane carrying a fairly smart bunch of pigs to a spelling bee in Wisconsin disappeared into the Bermuda trapezoid almost 100 years ago.
Wow, look at this. This whole village is built from things that disappeared in the Bermuda trapezoid.
You heard about the massive penguin baby? A massive penguin baby has been born. So it's a massive king? For a penguin. All penguins are quite small.
Is it a king or an emperor penguin?
I think it's a what's a king penguin? I think it's an
emperor penguin. Right, so emperor penguin babies are usually, so they're born really fluffy, right? They're usually, what's that, about a foot? About a foot high.
I think smaller than that, because
okay,
the tallest penguin's only up to my hip.
Right, so the emperor penguin baby is usually less than a hip tall, less than a foot tall. This fucking baby hatched, and it's like 3 feet tall.
It's massive.
It's massive.
I need to see this.
It's full fluffy, right? Full brown fluff like a baby is supposed to have.
Like Elijah Wood in Happy Feet.
But it's the height of the normal adult emperor penguin.
Speaking of penguins, just trying to claw this back a little bit. The imposters are allergic to penguins, we find out in one episode of The Secret Show. For that is what we are talking about. Anyone got something to say about that?
Its name is Pesto.
Oh!
Right, so that's the baby, and that's what it's next to is a full-grown adult.
Wow!
It's the size of an adult.
So yeah, a full adult average emperor penguin is 5 foot 4 inches or 1.36 meters.
This is great, but I do need you to talk about The Secret Show.
I get that.
I understand that.
No.
I've heard you.
No.
I definitely think if you use our podcast to know if you should rewatch old shows, rewatch this one.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really funny.
Absolutely.
I didn't get sick of it personally. I thought it was hilarious. I understand, like, we've talked about some kids shows that we've like, they're objectively great, but it gets grating after a while. This one, it's because it's like a kind of sitcom comedy.
I mean, it's a cartoon.
Animation. It's always on the same level, so it's always really upbeat, full of music, and loads is going on. It does make it a bit grating after a while. It's really entertaining.
This walked so Archer could run.
I don't think Archer ran, mate.
No, I don't think jogged. Tripped.
The base is under attack. We've got to stop that thing.
The only way is to blast it back into space.
Yeah, if we only had some kind of giant rocket.
Ooh, you mean something like that?
Great! Now, if we only had a giant bottle to launch it from.
You mean like that?
Yeah! What are the chances? But how do we light it?
Using that enormous match! Oh, well, we'll think of something.
Or if in any way you use this podcast to see if you should rewatch old shows with your kids, yeah, this is a good one because there's jokes that you'll now get as an adult.
Had a good time this episode.
Yeah, this was fun.
I'm sorry if it's not massively informative.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a good show to watch.
It's a good show. There's not a huge amount of information. Just watch it.
Yeah, we let it slide this episode. We wanted an easy one.
I don't think we let it slide. It's just like, there's only so much you can know.
Well, it's Elsie's birthday as well.
Yeah.
But also, of all the shows we've covered, it's one of my favourite. It's one of the most enjoyable ones to watch. Hands down.
It's brilliant. I felt a bit bad not including Arthur and Betty in this one more because of how much we shared of it together.
So have you had a good time?
Yes, I've had a very good time.
Have you had a
very
good day?
birthday. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who said happy birthday to me.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to me on social media.
Yeah.
How do you feel about being 26, Els?
Old. No, not really. I feel fine.
Right, this is not a slight on Laura, because she's making a face, because she's already 26. But it apparently when it's impossible to talk about aging with people who are older than you. You know when you speak to, do you ever do this when you speak to like your family and stuff about aging, a thing that's actually happening to you, and when they're like in their 40s and 50s, all they have to say to you is, it's worse for me. It's like, I don't care if it's worse for you. I'm trying to have a conversation.
I'm going through something
about something.
We could chat. You could complain. I can complain. We could go back and forth. So my brother turned 29 the weekend just gone, and we were talking about aging because I was like, please. My brother's on and off tries to work out, and I relayed what you said to him because he tries and does lifted and shit, and I'm like, please, moving forwards as you get older, please be aware of your delicate bones. Please just move it, because like you're going into your 30s and you keep just picking it up out of nowhere, you could hurt yourself, please. And he didn't respond like, oh, I'm older, it's worse for you, because he got the golden scoop of genetics when it comes to medical stuff, and I got the shit scoop of genetics, so he's fucking fine.
The reason I ask is because for me, turning 25 was fine. Like every year I feel like it feels a bit worse and worse, but I feel like it's going to get to a point and then it's going to feel better, because we're at the time in our lives where it's like
a puberty of sorts.
Yeah, where it's like, this is when people do start to get married, do start to have kids, do start to buy houses, that kind of thing. This is why this age feels so weird. And for me, turning 25 was like, oh, that's all right. Turning 26, though, in my head is like, do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
I think 25's the last good unserious age, and then 26, it's like lock in.
Yeah. I think,
and I don't know how else to explain it other than that.
So I'm the oldest, not by like a year on Meg, less than a year on Elsie, and like I think I'm gonna be fine now until I turn 29. Like I think I'm gonna just let the birthdays go by, but then 29 I'm gonna be like, oh god.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. I feel like ashamed at how bad I feel about aging. Like it's actually not
like,
nice.
No, this is what I mean. I feel like you're allowed to feel bad about it. Like when you complain to your mum and dad or whoever in your family that, oh, it's worse for me because I'm older. It's like, yeah, but did you like turn 20
I will
26?
Say,
probably fucking not.
Now, anytime any of my older family members, my aunt does not ever do this. She sympathizes back and forth, right? But anytime any of my family members reacts like that, I'm gonna go, well, I have MS, so fuck you. Old age is scary now.
Yeah, no, I feel it's like, do you actually want to have a conversation with me and care about how I feel in life? Because aging is a scary thing, and getting older is a scary thing, and I don't feel like we should be responding to people with, well, I'm older. So, and I know this is easy for me to say as the youngest of the three of us.
I will say, like, naively, when I was a teenager, I thought I'd be totally fine with getting older. Which is like, when you're like 17, you're like, yeah, well, getting older is totally fine. And then you get to 26 and you're like, maybe could I have a couple years back? I think COVID doesn't help any of this, where it feels like 2 years were kind of not real.
Well, 2-3 years.
Yeah, well, they weren't like real, but
I don't want to end the episode on that note.
Happy birthday!
Cheers! Thank you! I don't know. How do we end this?
I guess one thing, we might end up as that successful trio with assistants, but let's work on not hating each other.
I don't think I could hate you guys if I like. I realised today when or like last night when I was writing in Elsie's card that her turning 26 means that we're going into our 10th year of knowing each other.
Yeah,
isn't that nice?
Yeah,
that is cute.
And we don't hate each other yet, I think.
No, we love each other more and more with every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
And I love you, Laura, as well. It's not your birthday, but I do love you.
I love you too. I love you also.
I love you, and listeners, we love you as well.
Yeah, we do love you as well.
Don't be horrible.
Laura took a swipe at me for that, like a cat.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been learning from those around me today.
She is really scratched up.
So, the imposter has been stopped, and the secret thing has been saved from whoever he was.
All thanks to Victor and Anita. That's the way to do it.
Will you stop playing with my head?
And so, the secret thing has been hidden in a new, impenetrable hiding place, safe from even the most...
there.
Where it will remain hidden for
Where?
hidden for generations.
Behind the clock, sticking out.
Oh, yes, well spotted.
No, it's not. Hidden
Yeah,
for
but-
generations. Oh, it's behind the clock.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thank you.
You can find us on Instagram at Thoughts TV, the O is a 0, and on TikTok at Thoughts TV Pod.
You can follow us on Twitter at thoughts__TV.
And you can email us at thoughtstv2002@gmail.com. Our Discord is linked on all the socials.
They're all different names. We need to get it sorted.
We can't
get it sorted.
I know.
Do you have any idea how popular the word thought is?
I know.